Good morning everybody, what is happening, what is going on? It is another beautiful day here in the Emerald Valley. In today's video we're going to try and break down why USC's 4x4 100-meter dash does not count in the IAAF record books as a world record, even though they did run substantially faster than the old previous world record set by Poland in the 2018 Indoor World Championships, hence this year's World Championships in Birmingham. So if you're new to the channel, welcome, and please consider subscribing. We do breakdown videos like this. I used to be an avid vlogger of my college track career, and eventually we will get back into my own competing, my athletes competing, and stuff like that as the season progresses for my athletes and myself. But for now, we're gonna do a lot of breakdown videos. So today's video is a little bit different. It's less technique and more rule-based. So the IAAF is a federation that kind of oversees everything that goes on in track and field, or sets the rules and or standards for kind of what is going to be happening at each meet and whether something is going to classify as a world record or not. And in the case of the 4x4 100-meter indoors, it has been kind of a little controversial because you have very fast collegiate athletes, and they're all coming together at certain schools and running very fast indoor times. And when you look at USC, who currently is the world's best 400-meter team, they have the world indoor record holder in the 400 meters on their team, who recently set the world record in the 400-meter dash at the NCAA Indoor Championships. And I'll get further into exactly what is going on, and I will show you a little bit of the race and stuff like that. So let's just jump into it. So I read through the handbook of IAAF, and on page 236 we look through section X, which covers world records. And if you go through to rule 260 and subsection 3 and then subsection D of that subsection, in the case of relay events, must all be eligible to represent a single member in accordance with rule 5.1. So if we go all the way back up to rule 5 on page 23, we see that in rule 5.1 we see that international competitions must be held under rules 1.1, subsection A, B, C, F, or G, and that members shall be represented only by athletes who are citizens of the country or territory which the affiliated members represent, and who comply with the eligibility requirements of Rule 5. Now, a member, in my reading of these rules, means a country or a territory, somebody that can represent something larger than just a few athletes. So the individual athlete must belong to that member to be able to run or get a record for that country. And specifically in the case of the world record 4x4 100-meter, it states that in Rule 260.3D, and I quote, that in the case of a relay event, must all be eligible to represent a single member and or country in accordance with Rule 5.1. So basically Rule 5.1 justifies that each athlete needs to be part of that membership, and that a relay team cannot be counted unless each individual member, or each individual athlete I should say, is part of that member. So to get into those rules, a member technically is a federation or something that is part of the IAAF, so a country like the United States or Trinidad and Tobago or Canada or Australia or something like that, or a territory specified by that country. So by that definition, they are saying that an athlete that is not part of that member, and then the other athletes are part of that member on a relay team, the world record will not count. So when USC ran their blazingly fast time of 3 minutes and 77 seconds, or 3 minutes flat, 0.77, they had an athlete on their team, Rai Benjamin, that by IAAF standards, is not a U.S. citizen. Now, if you were to look back at his history, and he pointed out on his Twitter saying, I was born in America. I am an American. And then was quoted saying that he was born in the Jacobi Hospital in the Bronx and that he is, in fact, American by the definition of an American citizen. But if you look back at the IAAF records, he actually competed in a few competitions for Antigua, where his parents are from. And because of the things that have been going on in the IAAF, they put a hold on all transfers of allegiances to other countries. So yes, they did in fact release him. Antigua released him to compete under the country of which he was born, the United States. But in fact, that release has not been processed by the IAAF. So at the time of his competition, he was still technically an athlete of Antigua. So that justifies IAAF's beliefs that it was not a one-member team that completed the world record race. So in fact, Texas A&M had all U.S. citizens by IAAF standards, making them the new world record holders at 3:01:39, nearly half a second slower than USC. So all in all, it all comes down to just little rules and tiny little things that kind of played a larger role in something that really didn't need to happen. I think that it shouldn't matter necessarily whether they are U.S. citizens or not, and I understand the fact that he is in fact a U.S. citizen and that it is kind of a really finicky rule and a bad set of circumstances that had to happen to Rai Benjamin to get USC to not have that world record, but that is in fact a rule that was established by the IAAF. So congratulations to Texas A&M, the new world record holders, or soon to be ratified world record holders, hopefully. I have a friend on the team, OG Bobby Grant, follow him on Instagram, cool kid. Anyways, congratulations to you guys, but honestly we all know who has the world record. The world record should be the fastest time ever run in that event, and that would be USC. They have hands down the fastest time ever run in that event. And kudos to those guys. Doesn't get much better than that. So that's gonna be the end of today's video. I wanted to just explain and kind of dive into the rules as to why USC actually doesn't have the world record and the little nitpicky things that are causing them to not be able to really appeal to get that world record upheld. So congratulations Texas A&M. Poland, you held the world record for I think 6 days. Yep, you guys set it on March 4th and the US then reset it on March 10th. So congratulations for 6 days. You did great, but you're just not as fast as a bunch of college kids. I'm sorry. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a little bit more techie, or not techie, but rule related and less form related. I'm more of a coach, but as a coach, you do need to deal with rules and you do need to understand where people are coming from. They can't change what they're going to be doing because that would change the ruling for everyone. And so I understand where the IAAF is coming from, and I understand where USC is coming from. They deserve the world record, but Texas A&M, congratulations. And if I remember correctly, the third place team, which I think was Florida maybe, I don't know, I don't actually remember the race, but they actually broke the world record as well. So if Texas A&M wouldn't have had an athlete, or would have an athlete that was not from the United States, then the next team would have actually had the world record. So a third place team would have had a world record. That's kind of crazy to me. But remember, be nice to people, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt others, slow down, don't dance so fast, and I will talk to you guys all very shortly. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. It helps me out. Check out my website. I sell photography. That's about it. There's a bunch of links in the description. Just go click on one and explore. Thanks guys. Bye.